Tim Klompmaker, Leading with Heart from Norwood, Ontario. Brought to you in partnership with Chicken Farmers of Canada and PoultryProducers.com. This is the Poultry Leaders Podcast Series highlighting voices and leadership from across Canada's poultry industry. Tim, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Jim.
So you've got local farm roots, a leadership role with Chicken Farmers of Canada. Maybe start with your background and your journey as a chicken farmer, which led you to your current leadership role with CFC.
Well, I guess I would say that my journey started before I was actually chicken farming on my own. I used to attend farmer meetings along with my father prior to buying my own farm. And once I had bought my own farm, I actually became involved with Chicken Farmers of Ontario. I was elected to their advisory committee, which is district committee representatives. In that role, I actually even on my own I would attend COC meetings just to also to kind of get a better understanding of the national system as well. In that advisory committee role, the position of director became open in my area, so I decided to run as a director for Chicken Farmers of Ontario. Once I was there, I took on the role and was appointed by the board of directors as the representative for Ontario to Chicken Farmers of Canada. I sat in that role as the rep for Ontario for 5 years, and the chair position was becoming vacant at COC. And I, along with its big decision, because it's a huge commitment, along with the discussions with my family, I was very much supported to take on that role, and I felt that I could bring a lot of value to Chicken Farmers of Canada. So I decided to run for that position and have held that for, I'm in my fourth year now as chair of Chicken Farmers of Canada.
So let's move to avian influenza. It's been a major challenge in our industry, Tim. What have you learned through this and how have producers adapted?
Certainly, avian influenza has tested our chicken farmers, but our entire sector, not only in biosecurity, but also in our emergency responses. Um, there's been a significant amount of coordination and collaboration that has gone on throughout the sector. If I take a look at that being our farmers, our vets, government, CFIA, and just the entire sector. So, and it's not just restricted to just our chicken farmers, but also all the poultry groups and at the national level. So, um, I would say that we as a sector and as farmers have really stepped up to take on this challenge. When I take a look at our farmers, farmers take this personally, right? Because it affects their birds, and which is they're very conscious about their bird health, but also it affects their livelihood. So it certainly has been a challenge, but we certainly have. I think that our farmers have done an excellent job on heightening the biosecurity, and they'll continue to do what they need to do, and we'll continue to make improvements with CFIA as we go through this as well. To how can we improve some of the responses that we have in place. I think one of the other things that we've really worked on throughout this as well, and that is around our consumer trust. Consumers still need to understand that even though we're going through these outbreaks, the chicken that they're eating is safe, and they have no concerns around food safety.
Well said, Tim. Now, what about success stories? Can you highlight a moment or initiative where you felt the industry came together and made real progress?
Since I came on the board at COC, I'd say one of the most significant pieces of work that we've done has been around the Raised by a Canadian Farmer brand. That was a huge initiative, and it was supported by all directors around the table. So that being our downstream as well as our farmers. And when I take a look at where we started out with that initiative and where we are today, when we started out, it was about, okay, first thing we need to do is educate consumers as to what chicken farmers are all about and what it is they do. So around that being around food safety and our animal care programs, that was a piece that we needed to get out first, and we needed to gain that recognition of our brand. And when you take a look, we are a very young brand, but we have 54% recognition on our brand. So I think we've done very well. And now the board has made decisions to take the next step. And now it is about using that brand to actually promote our product. But that's like a very long-term initiative. But I would say on the short term, when I take a look at our board of directors, and our board of directors is somewhat unique because we're made up of one representative from each province representing the farmers, and then we have two primary processors and one further processors and one rep from Restaurants Canada. So we do get together every 8 weeks and we set allocation. So what the volume needs to be across Canada. So and there's other decisions that we make around food safety or animal care or a lot of other programs that we have underway. So short term, we actually have success every 8 weeks that we're able to come together and accomplish allocations and also some other initiatives that we work on.
So there's a new law in place to protect supply management, Tim. Can you explain how that works and why it's such a critical system that needs to be protected for Canadians?
Yeah, well, first of all, supply management is the foundation of Chicken Farmers of Canada. When you take a look at it, it supports the whole sector with us being able to match the supply with the demand. So that piece is very critical, but it's not just about farmers. It also brings stability for our rural communities, our job creation. So there's a number of things that it actually impacts. So I'm glad to see that Bill C-202 was passed, and it makes the government realize that, you know what, our supply management sector is important. I think what we have seen in previous negotiations is that when they get down to the final strokes of an agreement, it seemed to be that it was always supply management commodities were taking just a little bit of a hit. And you were constantly told, well, it's not that bad. It's only a 1% or 2% increased access. But as farmers, we just felt that if we're giving up a little bit every time, um, it's almost death by a thousand cuts. So we felt that, having this pass is that it just gives that stability for our sector. And because I don't want to ever find out what volume it would be that we had as imports would actually take down the system. So it's very encouraging for our farmers to see that our government has stepped up and supported us in that fashion.
So your original family farm was in Sterling, Ontario, top of the water
Yep.
tower, where I
Yeah.
am today. But now
Yeah.
you
Very
live
close to you.
in Norwood, about 45 minutes from there. So what's something unique about Norwood and then, or your life as a chicken farmer that keeps you grounded, Tim?
What's unique about Norwood? I'm not sure it'd be anything unique from being in Norwood, I guess, or where you are, Jim and Sterling. Small community, very community oriented. When things need to be done in the community, everybody pulls together. But I would say what really keeps me grounded is my farm. I still, as much as I love what I do at the national level, I still love going to the barn and working in the barns and also, the fact that I'm able to work with my family. We have three sons. They all have farms of their own, and we have nine grandchildren. So that's very much what keeps me grounded. That's what brings me home, and it's always a pleasure to come home and be able to work with my family. So
The farm and the family life. Now, thanks, Tim, for your leadership and insights today.
thank you very much for having me.